All right, all right. We are here. We're here. How's everybody doing? As you can see, Josh, Carolyn.
Living the dream.
Why do you always
Good.
answer, why do you always answer living the dream? I don't feel like this is a fucking dream, but
Well, it's because you live there and I live here, and I am living my dream. That's why there's a big difference.
that's your that's your full dream. It starts and ends there. Well, let me say hi. What's up, Kelly Unknown? Hey, Gigi, John. Hey, Lisa D. Nice to see you guys. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I did send the link out to a few other people. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, they might be busy. They might not. I'm not sure. It was kind of like short notice, so we'll see.
Not living the full dream per se, but every time I achieve one dream, I create another one. I mean,
You create another one.
right?
Oh, you're funny.
No, I'm Josh.
The kids are good. They're happy. They're in bed. One's already snoring. The other one's on her way to snoring. So life is good.
What's
That's
up,
all.
Callie, John, Gigi, Lisa?
What's up, everybody?
That's
Shared
awesome.
you out.
Oh,
Get a bunch of gardeners over. Yeah, we'll get a bunch of gardeners over here so they can shit Twinkies.
oh my God. Look, look, I think we should start with our first official monkeypox case. Is anybody aware of that?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about
Where
it.
do
I
we
mean,
get where do we get monkeypox from?
monkeys.
So where are we gonna find the monkeys?
They let a bunch loose in an urban area, and I guess it's like they started repopulating. There's like 600 or 700 of them on an island somewhere,
What the
like in
fuck is
Pennsylvania or something.
happening? Let's just listen because I'm curious.
Earlier, as you received notice from the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, there's a patient in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts who has been confirmed to have infection with monkeypox. That patient is currently hospitalized at Massachusetts General Hospital and is admitted to our special pathogens program. He is in stable condition, and Dr. Chenoy will let you know additional details. Massachusetts General Hospital is the designated regional emerging special pathogens treatment center for the New England area for the 6 states, and the patient is doing well, safely in isolation in our unit.
So I'll just give a broad overview of the patient's admission so far. So the patient was admitted on the 12th. They were being evaluated for various symptoms. During the course of their admission, they were identified as a possible monkeypox suspect. And this was really unusual because the patient had no travel history, no exposure to animals that would be known to be reservoirs. However, the team, thinking about the patient and hearing just over the weekend about some of the cases in the United Kingdom, thought more broadly about the patient's diagnosis. When they did that, they communicated that directly to myself. We communicated with the public health authorities. We assembled the team. As Dr. Bittinger mentioned, we have a regional emerging special pathogens treatment center, so we are planned to respond to these sorts of events. We transferred the patient throughout the course of the day to our special pathogens unit where they've remained.
The Boston Public Health Commission will continue to collaborate closely with the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, Mass General Brigham, and other healthcare institutions to assist in follow-up of any exposed Boston residents and healthcare workers. In the meantime, and as we learn more, we urge healthcare providers, particularly those in outpatient settings, to remain vigilant to potential cases and to take any necessary precautions, including standard precautions, as well as use of necessary personal protective equipment that can include gown, gloves, a medical face mask or respirator, and eye protection to minimize exposures. Thank you.
Fucking monkeypox. Jesus.
Wait, I'm trying not to laugh. I'm really not laughing at the scenario. I keep trying to don't smile. Just have a habit of smiling. How the fuck do we get monkeypox? Please, somebody enlighten me. That does not happen. When does this happen?
Well, apparently it happened today or yesterday or whenever, but it happened.
Oh, yesterday, today, the 13th. The
The
13th.
13th.
Yeah, they
Well,
said
the
that.
dude's still alive. I mean, monkeypox is survivable. I don't know why it's not. No need to make a big deal out of it. They will survive it.
It's Trump's fault. Kelly said, "Just live in a bubble. Everything will be okay." 1 second, I gotta grab my water.
I don't know. That's why. Build your own immune system up. Have a few goats. That'll get your immune system up. I mean, shit.
America is so fucking lovely, isn't it?
It's the best country on the planet.
Seems to be an interesting time to exist in. And then you know that Gerber, you know that recipe that was kind of floating around for the formula.
Yeah.
Then they knocked that off. The fact checkers, they said that's
Mhm.
inappropriate. That's false information.
Sure it is.
Amazing how that works.
Yep. I mean, you cut out. You start telling people they can do it themselves for a quarter of the price. I mean, yeah, all the manufacturers are gonna come out and say, "Don't do that."
I mean, when is, if you had to give a time frame, when is everybody going to starve? Isn't that a bigger problem?
Well, it
Not for
seems
me.
like it would be, but at the same time, they're trying to starve everybody out that they can and seemingly getting richer in the process. So I don't know. I guess mass starvation is a very lucrative business.
Man, they burnt a lot of our shit down. Or I should say, it randomly burned down. Random. Everything is random. Who's that one?
This is Samson. Hi, Samson. Hi,
Sam
buddy.
beautifully. Oh, look at his colors.
Yeah, he's gonna make beautiful babies. Huh, buddy?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's scratchy.
he's cute. I would want one of those if they didn't. Do they stink?
Yeah, the males do.
Then I don't.
Piss all over their faces. Ladies, come here. Come say hi.
The way that they interact is amazing. They actually know when you're like, come here.
Mm-hmm. Come here, Daisy. That's your tail. You can't bite your own. Well, I guess you can bite your own tail, but nobody said all mine. Geniuses.
Where's Chippy? That's more of my favorite.
Chip, I can't go in there right now and show you Chippy. Nobody will hear me.
I'm trying to send you off, I guess.
Hi, buddy.
You got open-toed shoes on or something?
Oh yeah, I do. Hi, Mo. Hi, buddy.
Well, that might be good entertainment, Josh.
You want to see Chippy? I'll have to mute.
Because it would be that loud.
Oh yeah, they'll go batshit crazy.
No, watch Josh run.
Chippy, you want me to come pet you?
Get ready for it.
Yeah.
He's gonna run. Oh,
Sorry, my internet's being glitchy as hell tonight for some reason. It's all good.
Hi guys, I'm coming. Come over here to the gate.
Look at his feet, Carolyn. He doesn't have nothing on his feet.
He's got his little flippies.
I know, but his toes are gonna be like
Swiss chard.
potentially lunch.
I know.
except for the one. Except for the
Come here, Chippy. Come here, buddy. Come here. I know.
This is hilarious. I think this is funny.
It is.
Come here, buddy.
God.
Come say hi. Where you at, buddy? Come here. I know. You miss me? I came and gave you loves yesterday. Come here, buddy.
Hey, Joe. What's up,
Yeah.
Joe? We're just kind of small talking. Josh is walking around the animals for now. Which one is it? That one? They
I
all
guess we will see. There's Chippy
They all
and
look
Frankie and Gracie. There they go. There they go.
There goes the toes. There's the toes.
That's Chippy's dad. Chippy's dad sees toes and goes, "Ooh, lunch. Nom, 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 nom."
Look how friendly he is.
Like a puppy dog with feathers.
At least he won't peck his toes.
No. Hi, buddy. You can ruffle your feathers all you want. You ain't getting my toes. Hi, Chippy. Yeah, I'm gonna leave now. Okay, I know. I would give you more loves, but this guy's starting to want my toes. Let's go look at the rabbits. Son of a bitch, man. He'll tear my ass up.
Are those edible too?
What's that?
Are those edible?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'll show you my edible stuff. It's right here.
I've had it.
Hi, Mama. Hi, everybody. How is everybody?
They're not
Guys,
too
living the dream? No, a couple more weeks and they'll be gone.
do they let you pick them up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. There was a
But,
dude.
man, haven't you ever been taught not to play with your food, Kelly?
Well, I want to know. Yeah, but I
Come
want
on,
to know.
How is everybody doing over here? This mama had 11 babies.
11.
Yeah. So there's 60 pounds of meat right there. I mean, food shortage, I guess. Get your head in there, buddy.
Everybody should be doing this. They have yeah. I don't want to eat it though. I don't. Gosh,
What?
I don't want to eat it. I don't want to eat a geese. I ate a geese egg. They're huge.
Now we have some peace and quiet, huh, buddy? Yeah, they're leaving us alone now, huh? Come here. Hi, buddy. You want to pick you up? You want to go see the...
It was so big, it made me feel uncomfortable.
What, buddy?
I really didn't want to eat it.
That's what she said.
Oh, shit.
I knew what I was walking into when I said it.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, God.
Hi, Daisy. Hi, Violet. Hi, guys. Hi, Daisy.
They all have names and they're all going to get butchered. That's not nice.
No, these guys are all my breeders. None of these. I don't eat these guys. I sell them for profit.
You really shouldn't. Yeah, but then why name them if you're going to sell them?
No, I'm not selling them. Them are my breeders. I'm keeping them.
Oh, okay. He got big.
Look, you guys. I ain't messing around. Don't do it.
Here they come.
Frankie.
Don't do it.
Velociraptors.
Frankie. Stop.
They're miniature raptors.
Don't do it. No. Frankie. Frankie. Stop.
Oh, God. That's hilarious. I said they'll let us have like 2.
No. Don't do it. I'm gonna pet you whether you like it or not. You wanna go? You wanna go? I ain't scared of you as I run off. Hey, bro, that's your house. Are you a roofer?
Oh my God. What is he standing on top of it?
Yeah, he's about knocked it off. I gotta go in there.
That's a lot of work. I don't know if I could handle that life.
Mo, quit with your house already, buddy.
What, does he move it on his own?
Huh?
Does he move it on his own?
Yeah, Mo will move his house all over the place. Come here, buddy. It's gonna rain tonight. Hold on a second.
Mo's part gypsy. He wants to live all over the place, apparently.
Mm. Hey, Leah. Man, that's hilarious.
There you go, buddy. Come here, Samson. Come here, buddy. Come see me. What are you doing, huh? Oh, you just a big old baby, aren't you?
That is hilarious.
Hey, guys. Hey, everybody.
Hi, Lisa.
What?
Leah said she's going. She's out.
Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. He's a pretty goat. You know he's a pretty goat, aren't you?
Hi, Lee.
No, you can't come out and play today. No.
I should reiterate, this is kind of short notice. I did send a link to a few people because I didn't drop it in the link, in the chat and have everything go to shit fast. So I privately sent it with the intent of possibly a couple other people coming, but I didn't know if they were going to be available or not. So there's the story, so you know. So we're kind of freestyling.
Just check on my turkeys.
I don't know, because at the end of the day, that is my biggest concern, right? What the fuck everybody's gonna do? Because
Hi guys. I have turkeys. How y'all doing?
good. I like turkey. I even like the liver and the gizzards and stuff. The heart. Really good
They'll be ready in 4 weeks. They'll be in the freezer in 4 weeks.
Can you save me some gizzards? Or do you eat them?
I can, yeah.
Gizzard. Well, I would like the liver and the heart better than the gizzards. The gizzards are
Right.
kind of chewy. The liver is. Speaking of that, I think I want to cook liver and onions. I've never had a fresh turkey. That probably would make a difference in the store bought, huh?
Everything tastes better.
Bro, we had some meat the other day, some grass-fed meat, which I always am like hesitant on that because I've had grass-fed that tasted like shit from my uncle.
Grass-fed can't taste monkey.
But that meat was so rich. It was fucking excellent. It made the best burgers. I'm like, oh, this reminds me of getting it straight from the butcher. But who can afford that? You can't even.
I mean, it definitely tastes. I mean, it is expensive, but it definitely tastes better.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're doing them in like a gross, say you're doing maybe a dozen at once, it's probably cheaper to do it that way because you may spend an extra $10, but at the same time, you can get it all done at the same time, and then you can store them and have a turkey every month.
Get 2 or 3 families to go in and get a cow, buy a whole cow. It divides the price up, and you'll have plenty of meat, and it'll be cheaper. I don't care what you do. If you buy a whole cow and have it butchered, it's way cheaper than vac pack meat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I talked my aunt and them into doing that a while back, and they've been doing a lot better since.
Yeah,
health-wise and everything.
Yeah, but what's the cost on that?
Probably about $4 a pound.
Oh hell. Yeah, I mean, I think they spent maybe $150 or $200 for their family, and then kind of likewise all the way around the board with however many other people they cut in with for the cow. But they went half a cow, and filled up a freezer in one of those big freezer chests full of meat. And
you know what, Joe? I don't know if if it was beef. I think it was beef, but whatever it was, that was like one of the best burgers I've had at home in a long, long time. Long time. For sure. But everything, I mean, everything we looked at was just so fucking high. It just, it's like, what? Like salmon, for a little piece of salmon, you're talking $15.
Ellie, you want to say hi to the
Easily.
peeps? What's up, buddy? You want to come say hi to the peeps? Come on. Okay.
Said no.
Say hi, buddy. Say hi,
Hi.
everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Mimi.
Elliot, come here. Let me show you. I got water into your garden bed. Just call you Elliot. Okay, Elliot.
Wild pigs, yeah. Joe, I can't buy it and raise it because I don't have nowhere to put it.
Come here, buddy.
Josh, is the cow your next move? A pig? What?
No, it'll be quail and then maybe a pig. I don't know, but quail for sure will be my next animal I get. Right here, buddy. Look, I got the water on it.
Look at the truck.
This is my grandson's bed.
Oh, that's cute.
Do you like that, buddy?
Wow. Damn, I miss walking around barefoot in the grass. You can't do that around here. I didn't even tell you guys. This lady, maybe I told Josh earlier, but remember
Bye, buddy.
I was
I love
talking
you.
about a shooting in the same block, like hours apart last week. I don't know if you remember.
I think so.
But do you know that was one lady's 2 sons?
You're shitting me.
No, I'm dead serious. I seen it on the news today. I was like, are you kidding me? That was one woman's 2 children. Well, the one was 25 and one was 32, but those are still your babies. I don't care how old they get, how old you get, they're still your baby.
Right.
Both of her sons were killed within hours of each other on the same fucking block.
Oh my God.
While she was at the hospital with one kid, she's getting called about the other one. True story.
Holy shit, man.
And that's why that's why I made that video about martial law, because they're considering it, I think, here and in Chicago. Serious, because the curfew, which the curfew isn't working. Let's just say it that way.
No, it doesn't really ever work because adults are going to do what adults are going to do. If they got to go to the hospital or they got to go to work or they've got to go check on grandma or grandpa or Auntie Mary, whatever it is.
It's not a curfew for adults. 21 and older doesn't have a curfew. It's everybody under that. Now, now here's another one. I don't know, you weren't there last night, but in the Discord server there was a lady and her husband, and she was a community activist out in Racine. They called her Yogi, and they had just opened a nightclub that day. It was like the opening night, right? And 2 chicks got into a fight in the parking lot. So she runs out there to try to like separate the 2 girls. And then she gets them in the cars to leave. So she goes back into the bar. Her husband runs out to try to make sure that, nothing's going on. And he ends up getting shot in the mouth.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's been complete chaos lately, everywhere. Complete chaos.
Well, they do. As far as the curfew, they kind of put that crap into effect in DC. I can remember for a while, right? Because as soon as the schools let out, it's game on. You know, all the young folks are out running around. There's not a whole lot to do. You know, they run around on the subway. They'll run around through the malls, the strip malls and stuff like that, and just go ham. You know, people get the theft and all that stuff skyrockets during the summer after school lets out, and people get their phones taken and computers, laptops, all that stuff. You know, anything that anybody's got on, you know, the metro will get jacked from them. You know, and they've kind of started doing that curfew probably about 10 years ago. You know, not that it's really going to matter in this day and age with everything else going on. You know, we'll see what we see, but it's definitely it's ramping up. And I mean, we kind of said that was going to be the case, didn't we?
Yeah, but I didn't think. I don't know. I guess in my wildest dreams, I never really imagined anything. But I mean, I'll say this is an amazing time to be living, breathing, observing. Not that it's you know, a good time, you know, for the your heart per se, okay? Because I have compassion, and you know, it hurts me when I see stuff like this. But I will say, with the structure of how everything is going, that's what I'm like, welcome to the pits of hell. I don't know what else you call this. And I wish Mark, he might be at work. I know he had to work. I wish he would have came through because, and he might still, you know, I kind of spoke with him briefly earlier. He's out in New York City. And, you know, we were just talking about how, you know, God wouldn't, you know, like things aren't supposed to be this way. You know, like this was never anybody's plan, right? And we have a lot of hurt in this country in many different aspects. You know, people are homeless, people are starving, people, you know, are getting their kids taken away. People are getting pressure, medical pressure. You know, it's multiple different things that are happening. People are losing their fucking minds, okay? We have people killing each other, people doing reckless things, and we don't really even know how to fix it. Oh, wait, here he is right now. Hey, what's up, Mark?
Hey, what's up?
Welcome.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever met Josh, and that's Carolyn.
No, I haven't. Hello.
Hi,
Hello,
Mark.
nice to meet you. Hey, Mark.
Hi, how you doing?
How's it going? I was just saying what we were talking about earlier. How
Oh, okay. You know, there's all the chaos going on in the world, and I was having a laugh with you at saying, like, you know, why the last two things that happened over here had ties to Wisconsin?
yeah, we were kind of laughing about that. Like, what the fuck is
You
going
know,
on, man?
you know. But you know,
I quickly reminded you that we also, you know, we might be the home of the cheese and the Badgers, but it seems like we create whack jobs. I'm serious.
Mm,
Jeffrey Dahmer. I think Ted Bundy had connections to Wisconsin. I'm telling you, it's not.
really. Oh,
Yeah,
see, I never. You know, I never really digged in deep to weirdos, so you know, so you know, once hearing their names, that was as far as I investigated. But what we were talking about basically was, you know, like the original blueprint for this planet. Okay, and it depends on if you even, you know, even believe in or have spirituality about you, you know, because you know, thanks to free will and free speech, which we have, free will and free speech have been things that we have taken so much advantage of, and we've taken for granted, and we've abused it, in my opinion, anyway. That the plan was never for classes or races or classifications or any of those things. That's not what was originally supposed to be. You know, it's that, you know, in the end, if you believe in a higher power, at the end of the day, you are judged as you, not for the 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 color that you were or the culture that you come from. You are just about you. Now, culture, of course, that kind of can't be helped, but the part about, you know, uh, distinguishing yourself or standing up for yourself, standing out from others, that stuff, that's the part that's been completely like run out of control, you know. And I think I said something to you too about when you look at things, the worst thing of all that plagued this place is greed. You know, like if everyone had shelter and a means to go to and fro where you needed to go, and you had enough funds to feed your family, and it was never about things above or below you, and that everybody told the line, what could possibly be wrong with that? But because everyone is on this mission to outdo and overachieve, and once you overachieve, it was never about your fellow man. It was about, you know, your own personal gratification. You know, like making billions upon billions of dollars that you can't take with you, you can't spend in the afterlife or anything, is almost just your life was dedicated to masturbation. You know, it was just about your personal gratification, and you never did anything other than just collect and build and take in, never gave back. You know, and it's not about not talking about handouts or anything like that, but more about uh what the original plan was we were placed here, everybody here was placed here. The original plan was that we were supposed to make this place our paradise for as long as we could, and we were supposed to be that village together. We were never supposed to classify ourselves as this and this. We were never supposed to be anything more than people.
Yeah.
And once that deviated and went off the rails, so did the part of this planet. Because everybody wants to claim something. Whether it's political, whether it's racial, whether it's whatever it is, it's everything. We're all basically separatists at heart, because somebody's views or somebody's basic philosophies or something like that doesn't sync up with yours. When in fact, we were all supposed to be on one road, and it never happened.
And if go ahead, Josh.
Well, I agree with him 100%. We were never supposed to be. There was never supposed to be classifications of individuals. we're all supposed to be one. We're all God's children, and me myself, I've stepped away from all of that as much as I can, and I'm trying to go backwards in time while everybody else is trying to move forward, and you know, trying to avoid all of the pitfalls of everything you were talking about. But it's so difficult because it's everywhere. It's like an infestation of negativity and division and hate and everything.
Oh,
It's a culmination of all of that. But like I go out in my front yard and I don't see any of that because you can
mhm.
look at everything I'm doing and there is no classification. I got 17 different kinds of animals in one yard, and they don't ever freak out on me or say you got to stay here and you stay here, and nobody's trying to get more than the other. They're just doing what they do.
Well, I think the going backwards in time is actually going to be um, the only option. The only option. I mean, not. Oh, somebody just let off a firecracker. Scared my cat to death. You're okay, Snicker. Um, how do I say that? Not necessarily backwards, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to have to go back to the old ways in order to move forward. In my opinion, we're going to get to that point.
Yep. Grow, store, repeat. I mean, that's what it's going to boil down to. Our great grandparents, they didn't know what we know. I mean, they did everything themselves, and they scratched and clawed every day for just existence. And I think probably that's why it's become so easy to live now. You don't have to scratch out your life now. Where it's become so easy to live, you can sit on your couch for hours and get on social media and bitch and complain about everything that's going on in the world instead of being out in your yard, trying to make sure you have enough food so you don't die in the middle of winter. I mean, it's mindset. Everybody's mindset has switched from self-preservation and helping out the community around you and make sure everybody's going to make it and everybody's going to be, like he said, everybody's going to be the level playing field. Nobody's going to die and everybody's going to live, and we're going to make sure everybody's taken care of. But that all went away. I mean, there's small pockets of it here and there, but it's just become too easy to live.
Well, the other thing is that um, we're living in the matrix for real. And I don't know if anybody's ever, seen but the premise is, if you know that film, part of it talked about those that were woke, those that were about change, and those that were about making a difference. They were going to get pushback from their brother or their sister, because there's a lot of people that are plugged into this program that is called life in the 21st century, that they will claw and fight and kill to keep it the way it is. Nobody, the majority of the people on this planet do not want to go back or consider a reset or any of that thing or any of that. Before that happens, to tell people that, like, listen, we are not going to achieve anything by being separatists any further, that we are going to try to do this the way that were originally set to do it. Before that, like I said, there are people that will fight to keep things as is because they're not interested in anything that I just said. Like a lot that the people that will laugh it off, curse me out, call me dumb, whatever it is, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Could be as minuscule as a troll in the chat room, or as big as some official that that would, the last thing that they would want to hear is, as a CEO of a company, to share their resources. As long as you got pushback coming from somewhere, and the numbers are always gonna put them in favor. That's why it sounds good. What I'm saying, executing it is another thing.
Well,
No,
you also got to realize that the people still go to the store and get food, and their bellies are full. I mean, when they get hungry and there's nothing there, and they realize the system that they believed in so much is failing, and they can't survive. I mean, mindsets will change. That's what I'm hoping for. Mindsets will change, and either it'll be absolute chaos for a while, which I'm sure it will be, but mindsets have to be changed, and hunger will do that. Will change your mindset really quick on what you believe and how you're going to move forward.
well, what do you mean by like what do you mean by sharing resources per se, Mark? What do you mean by that? Like because I kind of have a problem, and I've spoke on this before, with the concept of 1 to 5% having every single fucking dollar, where and then everybody else. I just feel like any American should not be hungry. Any American should not be homeless. We shouldn't see that. We shouldn't see people shitting in the streets. We shouldn't see it. There's too much wealth in this country to see the things we see. So, what's the fucking problem? I mean, not to say that people, aren't in a position to do for thyself, because I am a strong, I shouldn't say advocate, but in my mind, when you commit egregious acts, and I'm going to keep saying it, I don't want the death penalty. I want you publicly hung, period. And people can get mad all they want about that. But I'm sorry, if you do something egregious to children, if you walk your ass in a grocery store and shoot up people, anything that we find to be crime against humanity, especially our young, our old, not to say that, the others don't matter, but I'm the one to say it. You're a drain on society. You cost money. What's the point? 60-some thousand a year to house an inmate in New York State. 60-some thousand a year. That's probably 6 people's disability checks, elderly checks. 6 for 6 people. They get better health care. Remember, I was telling you earlier, Mark? I knew a guy that had a bad heart. The doctor gave him like a year to live. He ended up getting indicted and going into the FDOP. He came out with a better heart than what he went in with. He was in better shape when he came out than when he entered.
I heard that. I mean, I guess the better to punish him longer. I guess I don't know. What I meant by like resources and stuff, like, this is kind of like sketchy, because this concerns. It depends on where your head is at, right? A man invents an idea that's like a worldwide idea. Okay, now he provides the entire world with this idea. Okay, and he's compensated for it. Now he developed the idea, and I guess rightly so. He should, receive something for his effort, right? And it's not on him to feed or clothe or shelter anyone other than him or his family. I get that too, but when you look at some people that like the ridiculous numbers, like 55, 59, 50, 60, 70, 80 90, $100 billion, like generation next level wealth, right? And yeah, they're philanthropists, so they're investing in this
Kind of cutting out a little.
charity, this foundation, this and that. They're doing all those things, so they gave, okay? But myself, I say that as someone that's here, that if you from here, without even going into the class of American, forget that for a minute. You happen to be here. You, in order to, if you walk to your office and you have to step over one person to get inside the door, and you had the power to end hunger tonight, if you wanted to.
Yeah, you're kind of Borging a little bit.
I would consider that to be. I would consider that to be like, hey, that's a noble cause more than saving the
yeah, he's a robot right now. Mark, you're Borging, Mark. I don't know if it's the area or New York City. You have shitty internet. No, I'm kidding. you're Borging.
Oh, the voice is messed up?
It was, yeah. Okay, now it's a little bit better.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, I don't know where I stopped, but basically this, it's like, if you happen to be fortunate enough to be one of those elites, and if you don't take it upon yourself to do something besides saving the whales, or they need them too. I guess the whales need somebody to think about them too, I guess. But these people that have the power to end homelessness, to end hunger, you know what I'm saying?
That's too easy though. They don't want to do that.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm saying I'm talking about having, I'm talking basically what I'm doing is spending other people's money. So
spending other people's money.
So basically I'm already, like, hey, get that guy out of here. He's talking nonsense. Granted.
Look, how I'm looking at it is that they're going to keep their money. They're going to keep doing what they're going to do. And if we keep looking up for them to help, we're not looking at our front window. Like, I look out my front window and I talk to the people in my area. I live in a trailer park, but I have a 4,000 square foot garden. Nobody in my trailer park goes without fresh vegetables all summer. I give it to them. Nobody at my wife's treatment center goes without protein. I give them eggs. It's all about your heart. I mean, I don't have elite money. I don't have money, period. But I have my back and the sweat of my brow, and that's enough to help a few people, and my family, of course. So, I mean, until you change somebody's heart, I guess, really, get more people on the grassroots level starting small and going outward, because I don't think the elites will ever change until their money becomes pointless. At one point in time, I'm just saying.
That's the thing. That's the thing too, right? Part of the problem is that they have excess while everybody else is struggling, right? And as y'all said, if somebody has enough money that they could end a world solution, like have the means with 2 or 3 of their like-minded and like-money buddies to create a real world solution for something that knowingly some of their cohorts may be profiting from, They're never going to do that because they're not going to take a chance, if you will, at losing everything. Now, mind you, they all have the means. If you even took, 4 of your richest people in the world, they could end hunger, starvation, all of that. They could end the need for fresh water everywhere, clean, renewable drinking water everywhere, and homelessness in one fell swoop. The problem is that there is money always in these programs and allotments. And it's going to be always this class caste system. It always has been. And it's just part of this confusion division thing to keep everybody else distracted and looking at the next person saying, why the fuck do you have it so easy and I'm over here killing myself? It's the wrong kind of mindset, kind of like you're saying. You worry about what you can do in your backyard. We all do to a certain extent. They're not going to take a chance on losing everything they have unless the majority turns around and says, look, we're going to make it to where you get 10% of that wealth and everything else has to be given away. It can't be to, your buddy over here in this charity and this guy over here to this charity, and inevitably it goes back to you. It has to go to something in a massive scale. At this point, a lot of the meat production and a lot of the food production has kind of gone backwards. And we've seen it go backwards. We've seen it go backwards very specifically because the people that run these major, big meat industry and all of that kind of stuff, they're losing money feeding people because it's so expensive. In Australia, they're trying to make it to where people get 1 ounce of meat a day. 1 ounce. Yes. In other countries, they're doing the biometric IDs. I mean, we were talking about this shit years ago. And it's right here, right around the corner already.
Well, that's why I say a lot of things that were quote unquote conspiracy are becoming theory. Fact. Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
now
not
I
a
have a
theory when it's
question.
proven.
So
Go ahead.
if that was to become a thing where they take everything but 10%, does that mean they can do that to everybody? Because I would hate for somebody to come and say you can do everything, but you only get to do 10% of it. Yeah, because 10% of nothing is still fucking nothing.
Well, I'm just saying, if they're worth $400 million or $400 trillion or $1 billion or whatever the number, right? Anybody that's earning over $4 million a year, 90% of it goes back to the kitty, if you will, right? It goes into food production. It goes into clean water. It goes into housing. It goes into medicine. It goes into the things it's supposed to, not into each other's pockets. Because, let's be honest, we're all adults. They've figured out the scam. The scam is to basically keep transferring it and keep transferring it around the world. And it eventually ends up right back to them.
Well, I get that, but a lot of people, I guess, when I look at that concept, I think, wait a minute, because if I come up with an idea and I manage to put myself in a financial position above others, I don't feel like I should have to give 90% of my income back. I think the taxes that people are paying now need to be allocated better, because quite frankly, they're robbing it and not spending it on the shit they're supposed to be. That's, I think, more of that's a big problem.
Well, and that goes back to the conversation we had over at Josh's stream a couple weeks ago that, the by proxy leaders, if you will, the politicians, have jobs to do, and they go into 3 different categories. you writing them letters, you calling them, or you going to set up meetings with them in person. The more people that set up meetings to go to them in person, instead of just haranguing them with letters and calls, yes, they get attention, but it's, like I said, in orders of urgency. The more people actually get FaceTime with these politicians, the more their feet are held to the fire to do what the public wants them to do. If people just don't care and they say, oh, it doesn't matter, whatever, we're not going to make a change, then we don't ever make a change. We have to collectively take the keys back to this car and start driving it ourselves. In whatever fashion your heart feels is most efficient, whether it is beating on their door to see them face to face, to make them listen with 60 other people from your community. Whether it is growing your own food and saying, fuck calling them, that's not going to help, or whatever it may be, whatever your heart directs you to, as the most efficient and most effective. Because, we got to be honest, not everybody has the time to go meet up with politicians every week until we actually get them cornered and get to sit down and talk to them. Whereas others can write letters, others can, canvass and get petitions going and all of that kind of stuff. If that's, what you're good at, do it by all means. As long as you're proactively doing something.
What if I said you have to make time to do it? Period.
Well, it's no different than taking care of yourself. It's no different than, taking the time to go see a doctor when you're supposed to, or making sure that you do your grocery run for the month, or making sure that you are following up on paying your bills and, going to go visit who you need to go visit. If we're motivated to do it, we will do it. And like Josh said, being hungry is a hell of a motivation.
Well, that's a hell of a point to wait to, because it'd be mayhem out here. What do you think, Mark?
I agree with that. You have to organize, definitely. Just as it's something that you have to stay committed to, and you have to be passionate about it, because there are too many distractions that can have people derailed from the mission, and you got to have like-minded people around you, and that are focused,
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. And sometimes they wait to the last, like to the where back's against the wall, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it's a little too late. But like now in this city, since I'm like officially been here kind of for the last 2 years, like,
Right.
okay, it's time to get my feet wet in this county, because I've already done stuff in my other county, and this one is really lacking.
Okay.
And it's damn near at this point a war zone per se. And I know people are tired, so I'm pretty sure I could get some people to rally with me and approach Cavalier and the chief of police, like, what the fuck are we gonna do, bro? We can't do this. This isn't working.
Yeah.
Something's got to give.
You have to find people that's willing to remove titles and class from their vocabulary,
Yeah, and then you go back to like back in the day, you had community block meetings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where they would get together once a week and they would clean up the neighborhood, and they would get together another time in the week and they would make sure that, you know, everybody had everything that they needed to make the community functional. You know, times like that, it is kind of going backwards, but at the same time, that's back when people got shit done. If somebody needed a new roof, the community got together and they built the roof. If somebody needed new plumbing, then the community got together and they put it in. If somebody needs to make sure that, you know, the kids are indoors, then maybe there needs to be, you know, a community walk to make sure the kids are in. You know, at some point, we do have to take responsibility for the state that we're living in. You know, whether it's by activism or planting things for your community to eat, or, you know, getting your feet out there and actually doing stuff to make sure that these people's feet are being held to the fire. Everybody has their own specialty, whether it is growing things, whether it is, you know, activism, whether it's organization, whether it's, you know, letter writing, whether it's, you know, phone trees and organizing of time. Everybody has a specialty. Damn it, it's time we start getting on it and utilizing those specialties that we all have. Because once that community is built and you have that network in place, I mean, just run it, man. It's going to run itself.
Well, you know, you're always going to be faced with detractors. With, you know, you're always going to deal with people who are going to go excuse me, go against the grain, or not, you know, want potential progress. If, you know, I think especially getting away from the political paradigm is very important, because every time I feel like that gets entered, we get less focused on the goal, if that makes sense. Because then we spend our time battling politics, right? And not getting the job done.
Yeah, that goes back to, you know, like titles and classes and all those other things that preach separatism more than anything else. And you have to rid yourself of all of that and walk through a new door, and just I recognize myself as a human, just as you. And the only way we're going to get through this chaos going forward is if we agree that as humans we have to do it together. If we're going to sit up there and classify anything else other than that, or going to if this has to stand out or that has to, that pretty much just keeps us in quicksand.
Exactly, 100% correct, man. Just be a decent human being, and a decent human being doesn't see a label or a classification or anything like that. A lot of people have been put through a lot of shit, you know, just because you're one color or one race or one ethnicity. I mean, none of it's going to matter in the end. We're humans and we just want to survive, and that's what it needs to be.
But it's not just ethnicity I'm talking about. I'm talking about like what you were saying, Kelly, as far as like as far as politics go, you know,
Right.
you know, Democratic, Republican, conservative, liberal, whatever it is, that is going to keep you in quicksand just as much as anything else. It's once you get into those like mind-numbing conversations about which way to go. Should we go left? Should we go right? how about let's do what's fair. Let's do let's do what's fair. Let's do what's going to benefit us all, and let's not be so much concerned about who's steering, as far as long as we're going in the direction we can agree on.
Right. And at that point, every community would be full of people that are making sure that everybody has a place, that everybody has what they need, that nobody is without, that nobody has to, have a hole in their roof, or, leaking plumbing, or, rats in their house, or, people being shot up every other day in their community because, shit's just out of whack.
Yeah.
The point of it is essentially coming together to solve the common goals. And the common goals are life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and being able to survive equitably.
And we do need one other thing we really do need, and I know, Carolyn, how you feel, and this isn't to take away from women, but we need men to be stronger, less emotional, and forward thinking, because us women are always going to fall in line behind solid direction. And this isn't taking a shot at women. I'm just saying that if we have solid leadership, okay, we will do our part.
Mm-hmm.
And the men are essential in this. We have to get back to, full leadership. And I mean that when I say that, like I said, it's not to take away from the women at all. It's just going to say that, look, we need the men to step up.
No, and I absolutely agree with you. When you have a solid, trustworthy leader that, handles their business and does what's necessary, and, isn't griping about having to take up that role, or feels uncomfortable in taking that role, or whatever it may be, it happens naturally. We're supposed to be each other's helpmates.
Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to be one person does everything and the other person is just there. It was never meant to be that. And that's, that gets back to that classism division thing. We were put on this earth to be each other's helpmates.
True indeed.
And when it works like a well-oiled machine. Everybody knows what's expected. The plan goes as it's according to. It's easier. It's the way it's supposed to be. And there's a lot of women that are out here marching right now for many and different things, for different reasons. A lot of them have no clue what they're marching on.
No clue.
None.
Well, hey, I just want to know, can I get that manliness stuff at CVS or Walgreens? Is it liquid or what? Where do I pick some of that shit up at? Just kidding.
Where do you pick it up at? That's funny. But truth be told, I don't know what the stats are right now today, but about 10, 15 years ago, that was one of the biggest problems we had in Big Brothers, right? Or for the kids, they had another program for kids that had an incarcerated parent. We couldn't find enough men to come forward for the boys, because see, this is the flip side to anti-abortion. This is one of the effects, right? We end up having children that need guidance. And if we treated it like we did before, where it takes a village instead of, oh, well, fuck that bitch, she's a single mom, It's like, wait a minute. Like we have to be think critically here and understand that these children are going to be going forward. So if they're fucked up, how well is that going to work out? I think we've done enough of leaving the kids behind, and that's why we have such problems right now today. People don't want to be hands-on. They don't want the responsibility, and unfortunately, I just feel like the children are innocent, and whatever we can do to make it better for them is only going to sustain everybody's life going forward. I don't like to see kids left behind in any form or fashion. That's probably the worst stories I read. It's one thing when they're young adults. That's still painful. But when I see these kids that are innocently getting, killed, or their parents are making crazy decisions, or whatever it may be, it's sad, man. That shit hurts. So, if I can make a difference, I want to. But I'm still the person that thinks life really isn't worth living if you're not giving back anyway. Because what else were you put here for? To look cute? I mean, I don't know.
That's
Welcome, Pastor. Good to see you, man.
that's what's happening. It's easier said than done to try to uproot selfishness. And I even can't even call it selfishness because, like I said, once again, when you're talking about spending other people's money for them, especially if they in their minds feel that they've given at the office, if they've made this contribution to these foundations, and they've saved a few animals that I don't even know about, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's easier said than done, of course. But
wait, did you say save a few animals? Yeah, I've done that.
oh, okay, great. You know what I mean? So, and some people might go to bed with a clear conscience that, you know what, I had the means to make a difference, and I did. And that might be enough, that might be enough. But I to I've yet to see the first person, the first king, the first billionaire, the first whoever, prince, whatever, what have you. When they died, their wealth went with them. I think it's actually one day I think it will happen because a lot of these guys, I think one guy I think I read somewhere where they want to be buried in space.
Oh God, yeah. That's the latest crave,
So
right?
maybe in their coffin that they'll liquefy their assets and take it with them. I don't know.
Well, I guess to me it's so fucking stupid to want to blast off into Mars and spend, I don't know, how much does that cost, Carolyn, each time you do it?
I think it was like $10 billion to go to space to the upper atmosphere for like 10 minutes.
She said 10 billion. I don't think it's that much. I would have to look it up, but I know it's a stupid number. It is like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. all that money you just blew to blast off into space for 10 minutes, yeah, it's pretty fucking dumb. I can find 10,000 other things better to do with that money than
Right.
3 minutes in space.
Exactly. So, the mindset of people have to change. You have to want it. You have to want to. And majority of people may feel that they're in a good space right now. I know that there's a problem. There's a lot.
You're in New York City.
Yes.
How many? So every day, probably when you go to work, I'm
Mhm.
sure you see your fair share of homeless, panhandling, all that. Correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And go ahead.
just because I can tell you that, well, it's Wednesday now. So Monday I could have gave somebody a bottle of water. Yesterday maybe I gave them my lunch I didn't finish. Today maybe I gave them just a whole meal and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I Do I feel as if I did my part? No. You know what I mean? If I had it like that, and easy, like another easier said than done thing. You know, you don't celebrate. You don't. There are more people on this planet that would build a solid gold statue of themselves than actually say to themselves, you know what? Um, let me go feed. Let me go feed the state of Montana today.
Yeah,
If you,
like go feed the state of Montana.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? If you had that kind of power, there's more people that would dedicate what they do to themselves for themselves than for their fellow men. Uh, what I'm saying basically, once again, is spending other people's money. But how much is enough? How much is enough? I mean, you've made your position in life. You set your mark. You are not going to be. You will be forever remembered for whatever it was that you did to be in the position that you're in right now. You can't take it all with you. And even if you took care of your family, they can't either. So
I think that's how we got in this position in the first place. It's that whole. I mean, these people take it serious to where they'll only let their family members marry certain families. It's like it's been a position that a particular group of people have held for so long. I wouldn't even know how to attempt to break that.
mhm.
Because they've had it like that. It's like, I know I keep saying this, like, it's a handful of people that really run shit, and they kept that money for decades upon decades upon decades. It's like I don't even know how you would change that, because I don't like this stupid RBR keeps saying in the chat, like, you guys want that 1% rule. No, you dumb motherfucker. We're trying to figure out how to get rid of it. It's like, you people can't make up their mind what they fucking want. It's like, oh, wait a minute. You can't go against your government. Okay. So we have to just fall in line and take everything? Is that what you
No,
said?
but that's the point. We actually said the solution, and we gave the solution to his point. We get that 90% back and disperse it amongst everybody. It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter where they came from. But that, trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, hundreds of trillions, if not, quadrillions of dollars that's out there goes back into the 90% of people on this planet. Not just people that look like you, not just people that look like me or, look like Mo or look like John or anybody else. It goes to everybody else.
Yeah, then see, people are going to start getting into the semantics like, well, does that include Asians? Does that include
Yes, because they don't have more than anybody else. Everybody.
Okay, so what you're saying is if you're part of this
1%, then that 90% goes back. 90% of their wealth goes back to everybody else. Everybody has equal. Everything. If the average person has 1% of all of their wealth, of all of the wealth that is attained by that 1%, equally divided amongst everybody, everybody will have enough.
Yeah,
Nobody gets to be ultra rich. Nobody gets to be, I'm not saying communism and I'm not saying Marxism, so let's not start that shit. I'm saying equal, fair. There shouldn't be people out here starving. There shouldn't be children out here that die from starvation. There shouldn't be people out here that die from exposure because they are on the street. Because for whatever reason, their government has elected it more efficient to give them money to be able to, eat food, but not be able to find a place, or programs for them to be able to have a home.
well, what do they call that? Is that, when they do their like gentrification, what is it? Like, I don't want to say, is it redlining? I always get them like too confused when they basically are pushing people out because they can't afford the rent. What is
Yeah,
that?
I mean, it's the same thing, right? It's gentrification because they'll raise like the property taxes. You've had families that have lived in a house for 60 years that they bought back in 1940, right? Or 1950. And, the property taxes have been XYZ, I'll say maybe $1,200 a year. And then all of a sudden, because they want to overdevelop that area, they triple it. People are out here left and right buying houses at 3 times their value, making it impossible for people to own anything. And when you
Yeah.
make it impossible for somebody to own a home, you're essentially relegating them to poverty.
Yeah, but what about the people? Okay, then how would we go about that with the people who have worked very hard for what they have, like blood, sweat, and tears? Because we're excluding the people from this equation, correct? We're
More or
not,
less, yes.
we're talking 1% level only that we are going to go in we would potentially want to do this with. We're not
Yes.
talking about just the average citizen who have gained their own wealth their own way.
No, because the average citizen is not making $4 million a year, or 8 or 10 or 50 or $100 million a year. That's not average. But at the same time, if just on this premise, right, if every vet was given $1 million upon retiring from service or being honorably discharged for their service, that puts $1 million back into the economy in home ownership and a vehicle. Now, granted, it's personal wealth, but at the same time, that home is going to go back into that property, is going to go back into rotation for ownership. There should not be any veteran that has worked their fingers to the bone, served this country, all of that stuff, potentially lost limbs, lost lives, to be homeless.
Yeah, what do you get for if you die? What does your family get left
You get a death benefit.
of?
And depending on what the case is, depending on how it works, in some cases, if they don't find the body for whatever reason, then you have to argue about getting your death benefits from your spouse. Because then the military says, well, if we don't have a body, then, we don't know that they're dead. Regardless of how many decades they put in, or regardless of what they've done, or regardless of how long that they've served. If you put several $1 million back into the economy in home ownership, that changes the scale of things. That's millions and millions of veterans that are homeowners that never have to worry about sleeping on the streets.
Well, Kelly, in the case of like what was just being spoken about, Ronan, in the case of Ronan, his wife is still waiting for military assistance for him, that they've been dragging their feet since he passed. So yeah, so I fully understand that you can't call yourself the best country in the world when you got those that have risked life for you sleeping on the ground. You can't call this place the best country in the world when there's children running around without shelter. There should be, they give, but they don't give enough. And, just to put it to, they put numbers on what they've contributed and such. And it's like they write a check, throw it away, and they never see it through to how it was spent, what it was spent on, who it was spent on, and stuff like that. If they even got it, it just that it was just like the effort is celebrated, and yet there's people still out here in squalor or at worse, and nobody, that's the part we've lost ourselves, because we don't really go to bed caring about that for the most part. We're so
And
swept
that's a
up in
valid
ourselves that
point.
we don't.
That's a valid point too, because there's like 40% of the country that has food insecurity. 1 out of every 8 children in this country are dealing with food insecurity in a country where, there are benefits out there for families that can make it. But at the same time, they go by these crazy slide scales. And if you make $7 over whatever their particular scale is for your family, for your area, depending on the area that you live in, you don't qualify. So then the next step is you're out trying to sell plasma. You're working 3 jobs trying to make ends meet. You've got no insurance, so you're getting hit with that. It's a struggle.
But if but this is, I think, so people don't get confused. I don't think we're necessarily talking socialism either, because
No.
it would be unfair to, like I said, take away from people that have put their blood, shed, and tears. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody pays taxes. Okay, that's obvious. Okay, but we're talking strictly about the 1%. So don't get this conversation twisted, because I wouldn't be down with the concept of
Universal basic income.
yeah,
No.
I don't like that at all. And because I do feel like, especially right now, there is a lot of employment. There's a lot of options. Yes, it might require people working twice as hard, but you still have opportunities out here. And for people that are eligible, clearly somebody that's disabled, it wouldn't work for them. But if you're an able-bodied person in this country right now, you should not be broke. There's no reason for it. Yeah, I can see if you're a single person with, there's just, our country it is a beautiful place. Let's not lie. In the aspect of, women and children do get help. Not saying that it's not a struggle. I'm just saying that sometimes you do have to put your nose to the grind and get the job done. Others make it further at times, and that's okay. I don't think people should be punished for their hard work.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you said that 1%, and like, Gazoo said that 1% has 90% of the wealth, and that's an issue.
Yeah, renamed him. He's funny. Kazoo.
I mean, Joe, to give credit, Joe named him Kazoo, but it works because, I mean, basically that's all he does. Hello, dum-dum.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that it's just for white folks. I'm not speaking just for white folks. I'm not speaking for any one group, other than to say that, the equitability is the problem. People not having the basic needs of life to survive in this world is just lacking. And, they're pitting everybody against each other in these crazy narratives, and everybody seems to be very happy for whatever purpose, whether it's, I'm going to be a little bit petty now because, it fits.
It fits.
But, people want to run certain conversations just for clicks and views. I mean, let's be real. People are beating a dead man's name to death right now just for clicks and views.
Yeah.
We're not talking about gas. We're not talking about food. We're not talking about formula per se. Everybody's arguing over what somebody that's past ideology was.
Or who's going to fill a spot. That's what they're competing for.
Right. And at the end of the day, none of that shit matters. Do you have what you need to survive? Do your neighbors have what they need to survive? Do your parents or your kids or your aunts and uncles or, friends have what they need to survive? If any of those is no, then you have an opportunity to change that in some form or fashion, whether it's working in your community, growing something, being active, or, you can do it for clicks and views. One of the two.
Now I'm going to be petty.
Is that about another YouTuber?
Yeah.
It's about a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them, yeah. They all want to be the man around the area since, I guess, quote unquote, all hail the king, chaos passed on. But that's another story.
Oh,
and it's more than just that too, because there's a lot of people out here that are saying, you need to do this and you need to do that, but they're standing on bullshit and empty conversation. To say what you got to do is one thing, but to actually live it and be doing it in your community is a whole nother ballgame.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole different conversation.
That's why in my description I put everybody wants to be the teacher. but nobody wants to be the example. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to give out the great flowing information that they read out of a book and can regurgitate it. Big fucking deal. Any of us can do that. But what do they say on the other side of town? Show your work, something like that. And I
Yeah.
feel that should be relevant. Show your work. Running your mouth is not showing your work. Let's see your portfolio. What the fuck are you doing to make a change? If you're not doing anything to change anything, you should shut the fuck up.
So, I mean, do portfolios of barn animals count? I mean, does that count for shit? Because I was just asking. I mean, I just want to know.
That goes in your portfolio for sure, Josh. Because you're providing, at the end of the day, he's providing food for other families. That's a noble act. That's putting into your community.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about a fucking job resume. I don't give a damn if you're an executive at a wherever. I can't even think of a place off the top of my head, wherever it may be. An executive of a bank, an executive of whatever. If you own Chick-fil-A, none of that matters to me. Your portfolio, in my opinion, is what you've done to benefit others, and not to say that, some people choose to invest in people, right? Like, I think you should invest in yourself first, but once you get in a position, there's nothing wrong with, if you can, investing in somebody else. Sometimes you just see people that, I can use the 6 kids here that were less than 30. It was people that invested in them for them to get a $60 million fucking property. And in 10 years, they are going to see the return from that, if not sooner. And everybody's going to get paid. And their families will be straight. So somebody had to invest in that for them. They didn't have the money for it. Just saying. Matter of fact, I was trying to communicate with the neighbor today. He's an older, I don't know if he's Laos or... Anyway, I said hi. He nodded his head. And I thought, does he know English? And I kept trying to talk to him. He didn't respond. I said, no, he was an older guy anyway. So that didn't work out so well. I was trying to ask him about this community garden out here, but he didn't know English. Or he acted as if he didn't know it. Either way. They got stuff coming out of the ground already, Josh.
Right on. That's what you got to do, man. I got everything coming out of the ground. It's popping right now. It's time.
It's been getting cold here off and on. I've been scared to do it, but I think I have to, or I'm going to be too late.
Yeah, it's time right now for you. You're past your last frost date. About another week or two, and you can start putting your tomatoes out and your peppers, and you can have greens in the ground already for sure. They'll take a light freeze. Your beans, peas, all that stuff could go in right now. Wisconsin.
Oh.
Wisconsin. We just have cheese here, Leah. That's it. Cheese and beer.
Yeah, you can grow
cheese and beer.
Grow
well,
some greens.
There's room for improvement and growth there then.
Hey, Mo, Josh said that the other day you were talking about your IP address being attached to all your YouTube, and you said your IPA address.
Yeah. Mo was like, my IPA address. I'm like, shit, you got an address for your beer? Shit.
And this clown did make it on the news. I haven't seen it, but other people saw it. They chopped all the shit up about being I guess they kept the activist part, but they took out the Democrats and all that. They chopped it up.
The male Medea is gonna be memes are gonna be going nuts now.
Oh my God, that was crazy. And then I come to find out, I read the story today about what actually happened. That kid was only 15 that they tackled out there. You know that, right? Yeah. He stole a car. There was 5 people in the car, and they all took off running. And he got caught across the street here. But they didn't. I don't know if they caught the other guys. I don't know. Yeah, we had a whole event out here yesterday. 31st, I think. 31st in the week. And they caught him way over here. That's a long run. That's another epidemic we have here. They just keep stealing cars, man. I don't see, and I know when it happens, because you know what they do? They'll take it and spin the tires around the blocks. You'll hear them, don't we? We hear them like spinning the tires. Like, dude, you're not gonna do donuts in a front. I mean, you're driving in a front wheel drive car in the middle of dry pavement. What do you think you're gonna do with that?
Nothing. Be smarter about the cars that you're going to boost if you're going to do donuts. It has to be rear wheel drive and manual.
No, you can do donuts in a front wheel drive car. You just got to slam it in reverse, crank the wheel hard, let it rip, tater chip. You can do it. Rednecks can do
Yeah,
donuts.
right. You can do it. You can flip the car too. Good luck with that. Unless you're trying to do some miraculous, like, what do they call that? Grifting? Is that what it's called? Drifting. Drifting. Yeah. Oh shit. I'm telling you, man, if I could only get the video, a chick yesterday, I felt so bad. She was like halfway bent over. Her knees are like moving. I knew she was on some kind of drug, and I'm just staring at her thinking, what the fuck kind of drugs does this to people? Is that meth? Is that like fentanyl? What the fuck is it that makes these people like twitch and do weird shit? Oh my God. And that's sad.
Well, I saw you guys got somebody out there by you, Kelly, that was in some sort of article today, I think, for having like 50 years every day in a row of 50 years worth of Big Macs. I'm like, what the fuck?
What?
Yes. He ate 18,262 Big Macs consecutively.
Oh, I want to barf.
How is the man still living? That's what I want to know.
I want to barf. I
Maybe they're lying about how good McDonald's really is.
Man, I had an episode with the Big Mac once. I don't want nothing to do with that ever again in life.
Is that one a day?
Oh,
one a day, every day for 50 years.
The first cow I ever did is going to be named Big Mac. I'm just saying, y'all.
Oh God.
Jack, you know what? Let me talk about this real quick because me and my son kind of I didn't know BMT was here. Hi BMT. I know you're long gone, but I'm sorry I didn't see it. Damn it, where did he sit? Where is that comment that John just put out here? Darn it. RBR, I did not block you either, just so you know. I just spanked you a little bit because you talk crazy. Don't insult my guests, please. I know I come to your chat room, you can insult me all day, but don't insult my guests. This right here, and I know John has had stories about the VA, and let me just say they put my dad in the psych ward for 6 weeks simply from switching medication they should have never took away from him. Never. They just all of a sudden said, oh, he's doing okay, and took him off of it. Well, yeah, that led him to the psych ward for 6 weeks. I felt like I didn't know if he was going to come back. And speaking of that, I found out something today while I'm sitting here. I can share it quick. Before the last time my dad left the house, my son came home and found him turning blue on the couch because the oxygen machine had malfunctioned. And this happens, people. So if you know anybody in your family that's on one, be very careful because you're not always going to get that loud buzz. And somehow when my son came in, he flipped the coffee table up, to get it out of the way. And because he had to lay my dad on the ground and actually begin CPR. And I never knew any of this until today. Never. I never even knew this happened. And I figured out how the hole in the wall next to the air conditioner came about, because there's a big ass punch hole in my wall rather, from my son, and that's what he said, how he punched the wall. I'm like, well, okay, now it makes sense, because a lot of times we as humans react in a fight or flight scenario. It scared the shit out of them. When the ambulance people got there and went to take him, his reaction was to punch the wall because he was frustrated. But needless to say, I'm not mad at him for punching the wall anymore. I was going to complain at him and tell him how he had to putty it and fix it. And now I'm just like, well, fuck it. I might make him do it. I might not. But anyway, that was a while ago. Thanks for the prayers. It popped in my head. But the VA is, I'm sorry, but they're not the best. I know Trump did try to put some, orders in action to make things better. I know right now he's getting excellent care. I don't know what everybody else's situation is. Like John, I don't know if your VA is better where you're at now, but I do know they made some changes in Madison to make things, flow better per se. But we got a lot of work to do collectively on what is it, reach one, teach one, or vice versa, however it works. Just spread love and
You
try to
said
be a little
like,
bit more compassionate. What would you say?
no, I'm just listening to you just saying, just spread love and if it's that easy, I really hope that it is. You
Well,
know,
it is easy. It basically means just don't go out in the world being a shithead. You know, you
it's
don't have
hard. It's hard to unlearn what you know.
Mark. I am smiling all the time.
I hear you.
If I had to list off everything I'm going through right now, which we all got our problems right now, you know,
True indeed.
it's not, I'm not singled out, or nor do I feel special about it, Um, but I still keep a smile on my face.
Hmm.
I'm
That's good.
always
That's good.
smiling, always.
Oh, that's good.
Of course I have my moments, but when I leave this house and I'm out in public, I do try to, spread some type of like, uh, you know, compassion,
Mhm.
uh, friendliness.
Yeah, but just don't get up hook up with her on Discord because that smile goes away in a hurry. I'm just saying.
Oh
Hmm.
my God.
Sorry, Kelly.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit more explicit on the Discord. Yeah, I
Mhm.
guess.
I
I
hear
might.
that.
I'm really starting to wonder what you did with the real Kelly. You haven't dropped an F bomb all night. I don't know what's up with you.
Oh, I bet you
What'd you
I
do with it?
have. I bet you I have said. I bet you Callie will tell you I've said the F word tonight. A who treaty? That had to be something I have to look up to. look into rather. WHO treaty. Have you guys heard about that?
Yes, ma'am. The pandemic treaty.
What? No, I got the WHO treaty. I'm gonna look at that. See what you do, Kathy. You send me down a rabbit hole. The WHO treaty.
It just basically says the WHO is going to come in and take care of any medical things like pandemics and shit like that in any country that signs the treaty. But I'm sure there's some more backdoor stuff in it. They never do anything that's just legit. So.
Well, I do remember reading that one thing from Fauci saying that if Trump comes back, he's gonna quit. And I thought, I bet you are. Wow. Hey, Silky Smooth. I didn't know Milwaukee VA was bad. I haven't. Okay. It needs action now. Let me see if I can somehow. I want to see what that is. I can't get that. Okay. Let me see. I can do it this way. So what can we do to make a difference with that? Let me see. Is there any suggestions? Let me see. I'll have to look. I'll have to read it all, but I'm gonna pull it up on here. Hold on one second. I never.
There's a lot we could do, but nothing I can say on YouTube.
Oh, we have to bring people to Discord. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, we can't have it over here. There's too much censorship.
Okay. Hey, Mark, do you still have a Discord account?
I believe so. I don't think I got rid of it.
Okay.
It's been a while since I was on it.
It's been well. That's okay as long as you know how to get back in it.
Yeah. I mean,
I can send you a link.
Am I gonna recognize you when I get there?
Yes, you're gonna recognize.
Oh, okay.
It's let's see. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this. You guys in the chat, check that out too if you get time. Oh, you're in Texas now. That's good to hear. Okay. Talk to you.
Kelly,
Yes.
I sent you the link on the text for the Discord.
Oh, okay. So just send that to him. Is that what
Yeah, go ahead. Or if you wanted to just share yours, we can do it there too. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, I guess, do you guys want to head there for a minute?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So I don't know how this works. So just go over to the first one. Which Discord are we going to? Mo's? Are we going to yours or what?
Yeah, let's go to mine.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So
Okay. It's over there. Everyone, have a great night. Thanks for coming.
Much love, everybody.
Talk to you later. Maybe tomorrow. All right. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.